What's up, Shagadelics? It's Dial Shaggy back with another video for you all. As you can tell, I haven't changed my shirt, so it's still the same night, and I'm doing another video. Grinding out as many as I can while I'm still up. But today we got top 10 morons that tried to rob professional fighters. I definitely want to watch this one with you all. It's another Listertainment video, of course. I'm like fanboying on him at this point with his videos because they're very entertaining and I enjoy watching them. I hope you guys enjoy me watching them, and if you haven't watched the original video beforehand, I highly recommend watching the video before you come and watch my reaction to it, so you are already prepared for the moments that you think I'm gonna cringe on, or probably not cringe, but but that I'm going to get excited about or talk about and have something to say about. But before we get into this, one last thing. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, first link in the description. And it's lit. We're going to be posting a bunch on there. A bunch of videos will be on there, like probably music related reactions as well, that will get blocked on YouTube, will end up over there as well, and you will get extra videos from me, one extra video every single week from me on Patreon. Now with that being said, let's get into this.
Welcome to Listertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. So today is all about looking at horrible people who were doing their usual thing by trying to rob some good people, but it turned out that those so-called victims were no victims at all. They turned the tables on these guys and made them the victims after they beat them up, since it turned out that they were professional or highly trained fighters. I can only imagine what it would feel like to be so confident in your skills that you might just laugh if somebody tries to rob you, especially without a weapon in their hand. If you happen to enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. And also make sure to turn on those notifications. Let's get this thing on the road.
Let's get it started. Can't wait to see these people get knocked out.
Earlier this year, on April 25th, Anthony Smith was scheduled to fight Glover Teixeira in the UFC. But on April 6th, something terrible happened. An intruder got into his house at 4 in the morning, and Smith was awoken by his wife, who told him that there was a man in the house. He encountered the intruder and immediately went after him, trying to subdue him, since he said he didn't know if the man had a knife or a gun and needed to get control as soon as possible before he was able to use them. He battled the intruder for 5 minutes before the police arrived and took the man away. Smith said that even though he is a pro fighter, he really struggled to keep this guy down.
That's crazy that he actually struggled to keep him down. I wouldn't expect that from a professional fighter, especially UFC. I think, because at least it looked like UFC by the fight he was going to have. Anyways, could you guys imagine someone breaking into your house? Like, come on. You're breaking into my house. What would you do? I don't know if I'd be going with fists. I think I would go for a gun. I'm just saying. You broke into my house, man. You're getting shot. There is no questions about it. You pretty much determined your fate by busting into the wrong house. I'm not going to ask any questions. You're getting shot on sight.
He took all his shots, including punches, kicks, elbows, and knees, and still kept coming. He also mentioned that he thought he was a badass, but now he feels a little insufficient, and he never thought that it was possible to be this terrified. Luckily, he was able to make the fight on April 25th, but lost via a knockout in the 5th round.
And the UFC president Dana White, many of which felt that the corner should have at least stopped him from going out for the 5th round.
Meredith Livingood is a martial art instructor at the New Orleans Boxing Club when this idiot approached her gym asking for information on taking classes. She went to show him some information on available classes on her phone when he straight up tried to snatch the phone away and tried to make a run for it.
And suddenly, he snatched her phone away and tried taking off on his bike. Oh, but he didn't get far.
Got him by the neck and was able to hold his leg so he couldn't move, and then I was able to...
But Meredith was on him right away. She was able to lock up his leg right away and was able to get a punch in right at the beginning. Then, did you see that? That when she got the phone back, she threw it on the ground just so she could get another punch in.
Dang, she was not gonna let this man steal her phone. Do not take women's phones, especially trained fighters. That's nothing against women by any stretch. Just the only thing I'm saying is women fighters are scarier than male fighters because women can multitask a lot better than us. They're thinking 12 steps ahead of you. Watch yourself. Just saying.
That was great. What kind of idiot goes to a boxing gym and tries to rob the people there without a weapon? Poliana Viana is a fighter for the UFC, and in 2019, while in Brazil, a man approached her and tried to rob her. She was sitting on a bench when the guy sat next to her and asked her for the time.
I'm not gonna lie, if he made this animation, that's pretty cool. Or somebody made this. Whoever made this animation is pretty sick. That how you make this scenario. Maybe it's been a thing for a long time and I just don't watch enough detective shows or something. But it's pretty impressive.
She checked her phone and told him, and immediately realized that he wasn't going to leave. So she tried to put the phone away in her waist. The would-be robber told her he was armed and to give him the phone. Poliana then said that he was too close and that there was no way he would be able to pull out the weapon in time. So she jumped at her chance, punching him and kicking him to the ground, and then got him in a chokehold and waited for the police to arrive.
That is just next level funny. That guy will forever be known as the guy who tried to rob this professional fighter, and not only is she a woman, but like he got put in his place so fast by her and got held there in a chokehold by her till the cops arrived. Come on, that's pretty funny. He deserved it all the way. He's probably being made fun of in the jail when people ask him why he's there. Like, he just looks like a little girl at this point. It's funny.
This was his face after the incident. It has to be bad luck for this guy.
Oh, she's even wearing a UFC shirt. First sign. Anybody wearing a UFC shirt, watch the hell out. They at least know basic stuff. And you could hurt somebody with basic stuff.
That he came upon this badass lady. And it also turns out his gun was...
Oh man, look at this.
For this guy, that he came upon this badass lady.
Look at his face.
And
oh man, his face is so messed up. I'm sure he can't even see out of his left eye.
it also turns out his gun was just a cardboard cutout.
Quando ela foi mais esticando para tentar dar o golpe, ela deu mais pescoço ainda para Poliana Viana conseguir encaixar.
De golpear achando que poderia sair dessa forma, mas não é assim que se faz.
Sergio Hernandez is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and when he was returning to his father's home, he came upon a home intruder that was on his way out. At first, he was unsure of what was happening, since the guy just said that he was trying to get away from some dogs. When Hernandez finally realized that something was up, he chased him down, and when they told the intruder that they were going to have to call the cops, he started going crazy. So Hernandez took him to the ground. Hernandez said that his training is what allowed him to remain so calm during the situation. And as you can see from the video, he was able to think about doing multiple locks and chokeholds to get this guy on the ground. He finally settled on the triangle chokehold and held him until police arrived. Hernandez seems like a great guy, because he could have seriously hurt him or put him out.
He really could have. He could have seriously hurt this man, but instead he just held him there and let the cops do their business and take him to jail, and he gets to serve out the consequences of his actions. So, I mean, he chose his fate.
But instead, he just held him tight.
The man's head looked like it was about ready to pop.
But instead, he just held...
Look at it. He just held him there.
Held him tight. This man is named Steve Shepard, and although he's on the older side now, in his younger days he was a 5-time world kickboxing champion, and according to him, he was never knocked out.
Forearm while he threw the right uppercut. Shepard thinking about that uppercut now.
That stands up because a robber hit him from behind with a glass bottle, then punched him in the jaw, and Steve remained standing. The robber then asked for his phone, but instead Steve gave him a punch right to his ribs, and that's all it took. Steve said that he heard his ribs break, and
Oh my, he heard his ribs break? Don't mess with this man. He's 87 and just broke this man's ribs. One punch. Or he said one good punch at least landed. But one punch to the ribs just broke him. Don't mess with some old kickboxers. Look how fit he still is. He's not to be messed with.
and that as soon as he hit him, the robber bent over and collapsed on the ground before being able to get up and running away from the scene.
He was super skinny though. He's not even anywhere close to that man's weight class. The older man's weight class is way higher than this guy's. This guy didn't have a single chance.
Now we have a guy named Justin who said he was an old...
Okay, before this one even happens, I've actually seen this one. So, if you want to watch it, go for it. But honestly, if you want to see this one and you haven't seen it before, go watch Lister Entertainment's video on it and see it for yourself. I'm gonna actually go ahead and skip over this one. Basically, I'm just gonna give a quick rundown. He tried to rob I believe a UFC fighter from his car, and he ended up getting that done to him. So yeah, he wasn't very bright.
Another female MMA fighter named Monique Bastos was able to turn the tables on a would-be robber in Brazil. The coward's name is Wesley Souza de Araujo, and he approached Bastos and another woman on a motorbike with a partner who ran away as soon as Bastos started fighting back. Apparently Bastos realized that they were unarmed, so she simply knocked their bike over and grabbed the driver, Araujo, in a rear naked choke, and then transitioned into a triangle choke and held him until the police arrived. In the video you could hear the criminal calling for his daddy and his mommy, and to be let go since it was his first time, but he got no clemency from Bastos. Bastos is a professional MMA fighter with 6 fights on her record.
Hey, you asked for it. You messed with the wrong girl, my guy, and you got put in your place. It happens.
Jose Cortez is a professional MMA fighter and boxer, and one day as he was walking down the street, a thief came running up behind him after robbing a sandwich store nearby and crashed onto his back. Cortez immediately grabbed him and threw him over his shoulder and subdued him on the ground until police arrived. This guy didn't even seem to be trying to rob Cortez, he just crashed into him by accident.
Dang, not only that was some very quick reflexes by him, he was like an everyday hero in this scenario.
With Cortez just saying, man, he got too close to me. So he wasn't even trying to stop the robber at all. The guy fought back for a little bit until he found out that Cortez was a pro fighter from some of the bystanders, so he just gave up at this point. This is the best choice he could have made.
He could have easily got put to sleep. He resisted too much, or his arm broken, or ribs cracked. Like,
Mayura Disanayaki is a gas station clerk who during his shift saw that his co-worker was coming back from the bank, and that's when some guys attacked him. Apparently the guys were staking him out and were aware that he was coming back from the bank, so they tried to get the money. Mayura jumped into action as soon as he saw this and just brutalized these guys, knocking both guys down with kicks and punches. So he was more than capable of taking these guys down. Eventually the bad guys tried to make a retreat, but Mayura was able to put one guy down again, and his partners in crime just abandoned him right there until the police arrived and made the arrest. Awesome friend to have right there.
So a group of them came at him and they couldn't handle him, and even when one of their friends got knocked down, instead of taking advantage per se, I'm not saying that they should have, it's good that they didn't, because they probably still would have been messed up in the end, because they, let's be honest, most robbers pretty stupid. But they could have all rushed him at that moment when he knocked that other guy down, their friend down. They could have all bum rushed him and possibly got the upper hand on him. But I mean, being a professional fighter, most likely, I mean, he already knows how to get out of most of these scenarios, so good luck.
Here's another crybaby robber from Brazil who tried to steal a phone from this jiu-jitsu student and got quickly put in his place. This guy got her phone and ran away, but she gave chase and eventually caught up to him and took him down. Her name is Sabrina Leite, who is still a white belt with 4 years of training, but for an idiot robber, that's all you need, as she put him in an armbar for 20 minutes until the police arrived and took him away. She threatened multiple times to break his arm if he didn't just stay still, and luckily for the robber, she was nice enough not to do the ultimate damage. I am not much of a confrontational person, thus I'm never looking for fights, but with the popularity of MMA nowadays, you really have to think about ever messing with anybody. That goes the same for all the criminals, as these guys have learned that you never know who out there might be able to give you a good beating. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is the dead giveaway. I'm just going to help everybody out there right now who decides to mouth off or be dumb and realizes real quick, this is how you realize if they know how to fight or not. If they immediately go into a fighter stance, you better watch the hell out. If they are moving and everything and in a fighter stance straight off the bat, and it took them no time at all, and that was like their first reaction, you better watch the hell out. You're about ready to go to sleep. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you like this video, make sure to go check out Listertainment's channel, check out his other videos. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, first link in the description. It's super lit. We're doing big things over there. Gonna gather up a bunch of Patreons, and we're gonna make a great community there and just chat and have a good time together. Hope you guys are all down, and I hope I will see you all on Patreon. Peace.